Hello. Hello, everybody. Good evening. I am live. It is Tuesday night. It is April 8th, 2025 for, got to say that just in case. And I'm going to do some card making. Imagine that. That's usually what I do around here most Tuesdays. I am going just to pull myself up on my phone and look, I made a little thumbnail. It's not great, but it is something. So, um, gives like a little preview. I did it real quick. I realized that I could do that before I went live to make the thumbnail. So I am improving my YouTube game, and I will just continue to improve as time goes on. If you're watching this on the repeat, which probably a lot of you will be, thank you for being here. Just please take a moment and like this video and make sure to subscribe to me if you are not already, and make sure that you are following me over on Facebook and Instagram because I post stuff there all of the time. And I see Alora. Hey, Alora. Not sure if I'll be here the whole time, but I'll replay. Sweet. All right. Glad that you're popping in to say hi. Hey, I do appreciate that. Let's see here. I'll just run through a couple of things real fast. And again, if you're watching a repeat, you know what? Guess what? You can just skip right on ahead until I'm making a card. That is fine. You won't offend me, but you might miss out on some information. So next Tuesday is kind of the big day. I did get a newsletter out today. It wasn't a whole lot of different than last week's. But next Tuesday, the 15th, is when the new reward system goes live, which means with your $20 purchase and above, you will begin to earn 10% back in rewards to use on a future purchase. And I know several of you who are waiting to place your order until next Tuesday. You are willing to risk that last chance product, maybe not being there in effort to get that 10%, and I am right there with you. I have a few things in my cart that I would actually like to have sooner than later, but I am holding out until Tuesday. Let's see if that actually occurs or not, because I too would like 10% back, because as a demonstrator, I will also earn 10% back on my purchases. On top of the income and that type of thing that I get from the sales. So another perk of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, which I could talk to you about more if that ever interests you. I do have my personal April special where anybody who orders at least 25 I think is what it is, dollars, I will send you a kit to make these 3 cards here. They could vary slightly in the paper. So, but I have them all cut to go. I don't want to say how many kits I have put together, but I'm hoping to get rid of them all. I think I did 12. See, I just did it. Because that would be 12 individual orders. That would be a pretty high time for me. So I'm setting that goal for myself. So please tell your friends. And it's a great time to be purchasing with the last chance and things on sale. For those who are local to me in the Topeka area, the crop is May 10th, 9 to 5, and I have several people who have signed up, so thank you for that. If you are in the area and you would like additional information, you can reach out to me, or you can find that over on my Facebook page. There is a link in the description. And then I'm doing a brand new workshop June 14th. It's called Blind Date with a Card. And I don't know if Alora's still on, but Alora has registered, and I greatly appreciate that. It's just something new that I am trying, and it would be a great activity to bring a friend to, even one who has never stamped before, or maybe has done a little bit or shown some interest. Maybe somebody who would like to make some cards, but maybe doesn't want all of the things. And if you bring a friend who's never been to one of my events before, I will have a gift for you at the event. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's, again, something new that I'm trying, kind of like being over here on YouTube is new-ish for me. The Tuesday night is not, but being on YouTube is. So your continued support is appreciated. So we are in last chance for our little mini catalog and for this beautiful annual catalog, the 24-25 annual catalog. All of those ladies, they're about to finish up their picnic. And we will have new catalog and products soon. which I will slowly begin to start showing you. But tonight, I am not showing any new product, but I am showing a DSP style card that I found. I've been really struggling these last couple of days. I've been trying to come up with my stamp club projects and what was I going to do for here, and just thank goodness for the internet, because I can scroll and find things that help to inspire me, because it has been a little struggle bus for me as far as getting inspired. I did do a lot of paper pumpkins this weekend, and for my scrapbook friends, I think I did 3 paper pumpkins, and I even have scrapbook layouts with each of the paper pumpkins, and I think it's the December, February, and March kits. The January kit was Valentine's. I didn't particularly look at that one yet. And I made them all into happy birthday cards, but I have a scrapbook layout associated with that. So, I've been trying to post scrapbook pages or scrapbook layouts on Saturday on social media. So over on Facebook and Instagram, I'm trying to do Scrappy Saturday. So I have 3 of those ready to go. I need to do the picture still. Saturday is still a few days away, so we can get there. So with that, I will get to working on the card, and I'll talk about the paper that I'm using, because it is on the last chance. So we will switch down here, and of course I have this paper here in my folder. This is kind of what I have left, and this is still available. It's not discounted, but it is such a cute paper. This is the Friends of the Ocean 12 by 12. So you can search for that. I know when I bring it up, it gets a little blurry, but the Friends of the Ocean 12 by 12. And this was my part of the paper share that I had when this was with the mini catalog. And paper share and ribbon share information is coming soon, probably later this week. I've done all of the price figuring, and I think I'm finalized on the poster. I've been trying to, step up my poster flyer game. And because they both right now look almost the same, and I'm trying to decide if I should change that or not. I don't know. But paper share is coming for the 25-26 annual catalog, along with the May 25 release, and ribbon share. And I think both are just in the same realm of what you all have spent before for those. But this is my part of the paper share. And so pretty much this was just to kind of give you an idea. I just love these summer colors. So there was 6 designs, and in a full pack you get 2 each of 6 designs. And with the paper share, I got 1/4 of the pack. So this here is this 2 of these were like very similar, but this is almost 1/6 of the share, and then I have all these pieces over here left still. But a very fun summery color palette, which is why I wanted to use it. And it is, when I checked yesterday, it was still available. It is on the last chance. And one of the papers had these large lobster, and there's a cute little stamp set too that kind of coordinates with this. So there was all these little shapes here, and I have fussy cut those all out. Not a hard fussy cut. And just so you know, you don't have to get, unless you really want to, this is how I fussy cut. I'm not getting into this situation in here. That's a little crazy. Now on the little crab, I got into this area, and I try to dip down in between his little pinchers, and I try to define the legs a little bit. And I did that with the lobster as well. Tried to define those legs. Now, if you're somebody who is capable and enjoys getting just like super right up and close with the fussy cutting, more power to you. But I just want you to know that if you're not comfortable with that, doing something like this is going to be just as effective, especially for how I am using them today. Oh, hello, Mom. Thank you. These were very easy to fussy cut. They're large images. This little section here, that might have been the most difficult, but it wasn't that bad. I think I did all of these last night. And there's more that I already have on cards. But since this paper is last chance and quote unquote retiring. I hadn't used it in a video. I was like, I need to find a DSP card to feature this. So I am going to bring out my little notebook here, and it's just in pen. I'm sorry, it's not in a marker, but we will talk through this, and I'll hold it up a little bit. Let's see. So this is the DSP, and I drew this wonderful flower here. I mean, very detailed, to show how the pattern should be oriented when you're cutting your paper. So this is 5 by 3 3/4. So if you have a directional pattern, you want that direction to be the width, the 3 3/4. So this is a DSP, and here I'll bring out this one right here. So, and we're going to cut these other ones. I have 4 of these. So this is 5 inches by 3 3/4, and I have 4 of these, and I'm going to cut it in half at 2 1/2, and then I'm going to do 2 diagonal cuts. And so I have 4 of these. The little starfish, it doesn't matter, right? Because it's not directional. But our little coral matters, and our little under the sea creatures matters as well. Can we hear Gigi barking? She must see somebody walking by the house. And then I have this one as well. And with all of these, could end up using the back sides as well. It's just going to depend on how the card plays out. So I have these already cut, 5 by 3 3/4, and I'm going to do this cutting live here for you. And it's pretty simple. We'll see how well I can do cutting up to the top, right? So again, it's 5 long, so we're going to cut it in half at 2 1/2. Okay, so when I have it like this, and then I'm going to do, what I do love about our trimmer is there's this like little channel here, so I can just rest that point. And if it doesn't get exact, it's going to be okay. So then I have these 2. And if you happen to do a diagonal wrong, you're going to be able to flip-flop these little pieces as much as you want. So now I have this, and then there's my drawing. So we're going to do that 3 more times. I'm going to attempt to keep them together. So again, we're going to cut in half. And let's just say you cut this the wrong way. Just use the back. Usually our DSP, if it's directional on one side, the other side isn't directional. So that's something to think about as well. And you could certainly mix and match your papers, but if you've been around me for a while, you know I just love our DSP because it tells us what colors coordinate on the back of the pack of paper, so we can hang on to that. And then we can just go over to our cardstock and pick out the colors that we need. And that's going to give us a beautiful coordinated product. Because having your colors match really improves the quality of your finished product versus trying to guess, you know, oh, is this color, is that this color? And if I'm not sure, I do have this little handy ring, which I do sell these, and I'm working on getting the new in colors. So if you're interested in one of these, please reach out to me. I do have these. The punch might be mix match because when I started it, I did this wavy, and now I'm doing just I think a plain circle for some of them. But I do sell these, and this can help with laying and matching, especially if you have all of your cardstock mixed up and you're like, which one is which? That little key ring reference can be super, super helpful to you. So I hope that you're just having a great day. It's been so cold. We've had freeze warnings here, and all I want to do is go plant stuff in the garden. But it has got to stop going below 30, it needed to stop going below 50 degrees. High 40s I could probably manage. So there is our cutting. So we have four of these. Right, I'm gonna try to fit them on here as best I can. You know, we're gonna have to peekaboo a little bit in the corners. You know, and then we have the back sides, should we choose. And then I have 4 card bases, and to make it easy, I just have 2 Melon Mamba and 2 Calypso Coral, because a card base is half of an 8.5 by 11. And, you know, you could have done this, you know, the long ways to do more of the sandwich board if you wanted to. But really, at this point, we're going to just be mixing and matching. And my samples use some different colored bases, and some of the DSPs a little different. So, we could go boom, 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 boom. Ta-da! Let's get the Calypso Coral. Boom. 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 Ta-da! You want to be lifted or lowered? I did bump it. Let's see, we need maybe this one. Ta-da! And this one. Okay, and if you wanted to, there's a lot of oranges on the back side of this one, so I was trying not to use them. But that's just to give you an idea. Like, you could play around with it, mix and match. But you know what? I think I'm just going to use the patterns as they were cut. This one goes like this. And then for this, I am going to use Tombow, and I will end up assembling all of these when we're done. But you're going to get the idea. So I am going to do the top one and the bottom one first. So I'm glad that you like this. I love being able to show off the patterned paper. Because it is so pretty. And I thought this little ocean pattern would be cute for just like a young child, probably. Or maybe just somebody who really likes the ocean. I never buy any of those. I did have the turtle stamp. I just don't buy a lot of those oceany ones. It's probably the Kansas girl in me. And then I know people who do buy them because they're in Kansas and they wouldn't get anything otherwise. Okay, so I cut, these are the 1/8 inch circle, I do believe. You know, and at this point they could go wherever, but I kind of like the idea of the pinkier crab here. So I'm just going to put I just put a little glue. I want them half on, half off. And I have just pulled out this little hello stamp. I'm going to use Early Espresso because, again, the black is so harsh and I think this looks a little nicer. And this is the stamp set that I used in my last week video. So if you didn't watch that, when you're done with this, go watch last week's where I was crazy with butterflies. I posted some samples yesterday or the day before. There's going to be a lot more butterfly posts because it's a lot of butterflies. So I'm just doing a hello because hello can be literally anything. You could hello, thank you, hello, happy birthday. And I did the hello because of how much space I ended up. It fit nice on the sentiment. Look at this giant sheet of dimensionals I have left over from Paper Pumpkin. This is a Paper Pumpkin perk. Is extra things. Let's see. I'm going to put one in the middle too. So I am just going to use dimensionals for this. You know, there's no extra layer. I don't think it needs it. You know, it could go here, but I kind of like him here. And I'm going to use these Sunny Day Iridescent dots, and these are no longer available, but I have barely used them, so I'm going to use them on this project. So just use what you have. And my other samples, I used a lot of different bling, but this did coordinate with this whole suite. So it's just now a matter of which colors do I use. I think probably I'll just use these orange. Because like you, I'm trying to, you know, I like to use my things. So then we end up with this cute little card, and I totally did it upside down. Sweet. Yay. So how do we fix this? We gotta chop it up. It's gotta happen because it's directional. I'm human too. Let's see. Goodness. Somebody should really tell me to, I gotta do it down here so I can see. I'm gonna try to take an 1/8 inch or 1/16 off. Because that fold does make it a little weird, and I've got a little room at the top. And let's just put it on a white base. Nobody was there to see if I had it the correct way. Leave a comment if you've done the exact same thing. And if you don't leave one, I know you're lying, because it happens to all of us that we put the card upside down. So I cut like a 1/16 off, so it's almost the exact same size, and I'm just going to glue it down. Because that way I'll be able to kind of shimmy it to try to line it up. Some people will, when they do this, will just line it straight up, but that does make it a little bit more difficult. Look at that. Can you tell? Look at that. Just a barely there border. Now it's the right direction. Yay! So I will do the rest of these off the screen, because you don't need to see me glue these down the wrong direction 3 more times, but I will show you some other ones. So when you're doing this, and if you're not fussy cutting something, use a die cut. When I first was gonna do this design and I didn't quite know the paper yet, I thought about like you know, you could do this design with, and then have like a floral die cut that gets you some vertical action. Um, you could have a stamped image that then is die cut out, or a stamped image that you then color in and do kind of the same thing. You could do a different shape for your sentiment besides the circle. I went with the circle because that was going to give me a good base to glue my little piece on. You could just do a large sentiment. Okay, so there's a lot of options with this. So here's one. Now you'll notice my point is going the different way because I was flip-flopping things. So here's one with the lobster. Here's another lobster. And then these are some different colored pearls that I used. Not sure if it's correct or not. Sucks to be you. Is that what you're... Send the card upside down? Is that what you're saying? Like, just be like, send it and then they can't open the card? And is that what you're saying, Alora? So those, if you're not looking, so somebody who's on replay, and if you don't have the live comments on, Alora says you could just make a "sucks to be you" card. It's appropriate for the right, if appropriate for the right audience. So I'm assuming you mean to send the card the upside down way. This one I put two little crabs on, and I might have one still. Okay, and I did that because on my paper, so again, I had a 12 by 6 piece of cardstock from my paper share, and it was almost the whole crab minus like part of the little legs. So I cut it out, and so I was like, oh, I could just pair them up with a buddy. And so I have those legs hidden underneath the orange crab. So that's how I got away with getting a little bit more images, though, even though I didn't have the full. So if you are, so again, so if you're fussy cutting out of the paper or even using dies that coordinate with paper, if it's most of the image, think about, can you layer that partial image with a full image to give the impression that you have, you know, two full images there. Let's see, and then here is this little lobster. So I mostly did lobsters on these, but I still have, so I have 3 cards, I have 3 lobsters. So probably what I'm going to do is like, I'll pair these up. Pairing 2 lobsters is just not going to work. I'll have to make probably one more card because I could pair these 2 and then I'd have an extra. So I'll have to make one more card to use up all of my, yeah, send it upside down. That would be, don't give me any ideas, Alora. I'm going to start sending everybody upside down, wrong way cards. I'm really not. So like really kind of a quick video tonight, which was a little bit on purpose because last week's was a little long. So here's our corrected card. It's just as cute. I do think I need to put something inside. So probably what I'll do, especially because I have, let's see, I have little strips. I have like these little strips here. So I could just float a little strip in there. I don't know if I'd have anything long enough. I like to do this action. I mean, I guess that wouldn't be too bad. Give it a little tail, ribbon tail, and put that in there. Would kind of look cute. So I'll do something since I do have these little scrap pieces. I don't have much of that left, which again is the idea. So this would be a good way if you have done, hey Nikki, you're going to make sure, Nikki, make sure you come back and watch the full video. We made this really cool design and even an upside down card. But if you've done the paper share and you just have a few pieces left, this would be a great way to use it. Or if you're trying to be frugal and you want a bunch of cards, you know, I always talk about gifting cards. So give a gift and then, you know, give a birthday card and then give them a stack of birthday cards or a stack of cards. And I think when you do something like this where it's the same paper, it makes it feel like it's a set. And then it is a gift to somebody, and maybe include some postage stamps or something. You know, if we're making the cards and you think maybe you're getting your friend, um, you could do a gift card holder to Starbucks or something, I suppose, or coffee shop or wherever. But if you're gonna spend $10 on that, why not? You could probably spend a little give them some cards and then give a few postage stamps. And maybe not a stamp to go with every card, because somebody's going to be like, oh, happy birthday, Sally, and they're going to hand it. But maybe so they have some stamps on hand if they needed to mail it to their aunt or their, niece or something. So, let's see. Wow, it is 7 o'clock. Look at that, like 30 minutes. So I just want to thank you all for being here and your continued support. Just again, one reminder, again, to like this video and make sure to click subscribe, and you can do the little notification bell, and that will give you a notification on your phone or tablet that I am live, which is usually 6:30 on Tuesdays. But sometimes I get a little crazy and I could just go live, and you'll want to be here for that. I'm continuing just to, grow and do new things. So if you have any ideas of something that you would like to see in one of these videos, if you need a review of a technique or something, please leave that in the comments and I will evaluate that, because I'm always looking for ideas and what to share with you all, because sometimes what I think might be like, I'm trying to say, like, I guess. I hope my video is not echoey today. I think my mom would have said something. I had like double microphones on last week and nobody said anything. So there's that. But there's some things that I feel I might go, oh, everybody knows that. Everybody knows how to do that. And that may not be the case. So I don't ever want to assume that. And sometimes y'all will give me an idea and I'm like, I don't know how to do that. So then I have to go out and learn, which is fantastic. Let's see. You could stamp off the light background. Yeah, if I only had seashells. I guess I do have the turtle stamp, and that's on last chance, or it might already be gone. I do have that turtle. Um, but yeah, you could do some stamping inside, but I don't have the stamps. I just have the paper, which is kind of fun because you can get so something like this that's this sea themed that maybe you're like I think that the lobster stamp is really cool. If you haven't seen that, it's a two-step stamp. Um, but you go, I don't know if I really want the lobster stamp, but if you pick up the paper, you're spending $12.50 for the paper, and you could kind of get the same thing versus the 20 to 25 that the stamp set was. So that's always something to think about too when you're on the fence of something and there's coordinating paper. I say get the paper, and then if you really, really are in love with it, then maybe you go back to the stamp set. But for me personally, 9 times out of 10, I'm very satisfied with just the paper. So there's my purchasing tip for the day. So again, I appreciate you all for being here. I will be back next Tuesday at 6:30 Central Time, which will be, I'll come up with a project, probably something simple, but we might also do a website tour because it will look different. Hopefully everything up is going. And you will take advantage of the last chance products starting the 15th and getting that 10% back for your future purchases, as well as earning the the 3 card kits from me. So thank you. We'll see you next week. And of course, we'll see you around the internet. So